Surveen, I am so glad I get to see you now. We had you on the radio last week talking about, I saw that the news was covering you. You are a Sugarland singer diagnosed with alopecia when you were in 6th grade. Of course, alopecia has been the trending topic because of the Oscars. So we're still talking about it. The slap because Will Smith was mad that Chris Rock offended Jada, who has been very public on her podcast and Instagram about her alopecia. And here you are just performing up a storm like it doesn't even faze you. But I'm sure it did at one point in your life, right?
Yes, definitely. I mean, yeah, I think all the Jada Pinkett Smith stuff, it's been interesting to kind of get more awareness of alopecia. I think that's one of the things that makes it the hardest, actually, is that people don't really know what it is, right? And so, as you're interacting with people and meeting people and things like that, they might think it's cancer, right? Or have had a family member who's had cancer and that kind of thing, kind of associate it that way. So to kind of bring it back and explain it can be difficult, especially in, public environments. If you're like in a grocery store or, out at a bar or something like that, it can be hard to like have those conversations. So the more awareness, the better, definitely.
Tell us, what is exactly alopecia?
Yeah, it's it is an autoimmune disease where, your body kind of thinks you're allergic to hair. It just won't grow it. And so that's kind of the autoimmune part, is that it's kind of protecting your body by not growing the hair. And, it can have different forms. Some people, it's more on and off, right? So they'll get some patches and then it'll grow back. They'll get patches again and it'll grow back. And then for others, it kind of can progress right into kind of the whole body type of thing. So everywhere from the head and the rest of the body, universalis, and that's the kind that I had. I'm not sure which Jada has, but so the eyebrows will go and the eyelashes and everything as well with that more progressed form.
Well, it's just, you're a beautiful lady. It looks like it doesn't faze you. You are performing out in public. You said on the radio that your parents, you were already in all kinds of performing arts things since you were a little girl. How prescient of them, because now you're able to share your confidence through your singing, your lyrics. Oh, and I did pull up some lyrics of some of your songs are amazing. I mean, truly. And you go on stage and you just rock it. It's like, this is who I am.
Yes, exactly. I mean, yeah, it's like when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think for me, it started in 6th grade, right? So I've now at this point, it's been a long time, so I've gotten kind of used to my new, identity, right? But yeah, at the time, it's just kind of forming confidence around the new look and just kind of rolling with the punches. As I mentioned on the radio too, it's like I've always been performing, so it wasn't going to stop really just because of that. And yeah, it's been, I really think it helps because it helps you stand out. I mean, there's so many artists out there, right? And so it really does help to stand out and be like memorable as I'm networking with different producers and artists, and yeah, just meeting people in general through this music journey.
And I'm sure it's inspired you a lot. We have Taylor Swift, who has breakups all the time, and that inspires her music. I'm sure this has inspired your music. Are there any songs in particular? I mean, I find it curious that they honed in on this beautiful Sugarland singer. Was there a song you did that addressed alopecia?
There wasn't a song specifically. I mean, I think we did the segment, just a day after, or just a couple days after the incident at the I keep wanting to say Grammys because that just
the Oscars. I know they were this past Sunday,
right?
Yeah.
And I love the Grammys, of course, because of the musical aspect. So I was excited to watch that. But yeah, it was such a quick turnaround. So it wasn't like I had spun up a song or anything in that couple of days. But in general, of course, the experience of having alopecia has impacted me as a person, and so it does influence just the way I go about life and how I view life, which then, influences my music. Part of it is embracing what makes you unique and understanding that the things that that make you stick out are the things that make you valuable. So if you kind of do a mental flip and see kind of your differences as the positive thing, as the unique perspective, as the thing that people like and appreciate, then that really helps kind of see the value in it. And then also just being grateful. I mean, with alopecia, right, it is more physical, right? There's not, thankfully, right, there's not too much of any kind of further medical issues with it. You know, at the most you might get like some grooves in your nails or something. That's like the most of it. And so for me, it's always been like, ever since that young age, I think I just realized like, wow, I have to be so grateful that it wasn't, you know, something else, right?
Right.
Something, you know, life threatening, right? So from that perspective, I've always just been so grateful just to be here and to be doing what I'm passionate about. Like, you know, every day that I can do that and just sing, that's, you know, good enough.
Is there a chorus in some of your music that you would love to sing for us? Because it just means so much to you that when you sing it in an audience, you're like, this is my happy place. And I know you're dealing with a throat problem today, but if you could just sing a little bit of one of the songs that you've written that means so much to you, that might just be like, whoa, to our viewers.
Yeah, totally. Cool. I have a little phrase that's standing out to me right now. Let's see. So I know I'm just been like clearing my throat.
Those wonderful allergies this time of year.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I have a song called I'm the Ish, you know, which is just all about pumping yourself up, especially in those moments that you don't feel totally confident. You know, even Rihanna and others have said, you know, you just fake it till you make it, right? You just kind of
Right.
walk into the room and own it, even if you're not feeling 100% that day. And I really lean into that a lot, just in everything in life. And I'm sure we all, you know, need to kind of get to the next place that we want to go. And so, yeah, I wrote this song about that, and just about you know, part of it too is like to pursue something, a big dream, right, kind of feels a little silly or crazy. And so this was my way of kind of addressing that too through a song, because I always feel like, oh, I'm not being practical, right, and like that kind of thing when I'm pursuing music. And so this was kind of my way to talk myself out of that as well. So yeah, the second verse goes, crazy don't have to be bad. You see, I let the haters go and now I'm on the way up. All it took was faith in my ability and self-trust. You see, there ain't no in between. You either do or you don't. I'm a it, I'm a hit, I'm a hit, I'm a hit. Look into my mirror and I know that it's legit. If I know, then I know, yeah, I know. Ain't nobody gotta tell me, cause I know my worth. Nobody tell me, cause I know I'm dope.
I love it. That's so cute. All right, where can people see all your videos, where you are, maybe your music that we can purchase? And I know you always love people to comment on, you know, do you like what I'm doing? What do you, you know, what would you like? And I love that aspect. You're very open to critique.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's really interesting as an artist. I think you're exploring different sounds and working with a lot of different producers. I mean, that's been the really fun part of Houston, especially. There's so much talent out here. You know, people from growing up who went to the high school of performing arts, right? We've got people who've studied music at U of H. And so I've worked with a lot of those artists, and those are some of my closest friends and producers. You know, Leland and Bobby Earth. Bruce Bang is an engineer out in Houston who does a lot of the stuff for the big Houston hip hop artists, you know, Paul Wall,
Wow.
and Zero, and some of those big artists, you know, who are always performing and always putting out music. They're just so successful and so loved. So it's really cool to get to work with these talented people. Track Sounds is another Houston producer, and he did a song contest, and I ended up winning second place in that. That was during the pandemic. So it was really nice.
Amazing.
Yes, it was really nice of him to put on something like that, you know, people could look forward to, you know, put in their submissions and kind of see what happens. And he also did some cool beat reviews where he would review people's songs in real time. And so you could log in, send him your song, and then you could see what he was saying about other people's songs. And then you would end up connecting with the other artists that were in the thread. So
Wow.
um, yes, I really have a lot of love for Houston and the people here that are, you know, always working to put out the best music possible, and then also to connect other artists. And then in fact, for the Grammys, there was like a Grammy, a Houston kind of Grammy night for Grammy nominated artists from the area. And so there's this engineer, King Lab Ox, and he's a great vocalist and engineer. He has some songs out as well, but I got the privilege of doing a song with him the other day as well. So
That's so cool, Surveen.
yes, so yeah, all of that again influences my music and brings it to the next level. So yeah, that's why I'm kind of always interested in people's opinions and things. But yeah, my music is on all streaming platforms, so you just have to search my name and it'll pop right up. Especially because I've got a unique name, so there's no other artist with that name, so you'll just be able to find me. My EP is called The System, so that's another way to kind of search for that. That EP was back in 2018, and then I've released some singles since then, and then I've got a lot on the way this year too. Music videos, I love to do them. I think it's so important to get attention on your music, and a helpful way to do that is to have visuals that you can kind of keep sending out and posting to your social media. So those are all on YouTube. And I also have some show recaps, like some fun shows that I've done in San Francisco and LA. There's videos of those on my YouTube as well. So those are the big places. And then SurveenSinghMusic.com has a nice summary of everything, has my bio, has my performances. I also got to do a cool like digital commercial with Canva, which is like this fun design app. You can make flyers and things like that in there. And yeah, that's there. We did a cool interview, and my song was in it, and then that went to kind of that went out in Facebook ads and Instagram
That's
ads.
amazing. That's amazing. Okay, so you make it big. Now, right now, you're on this exciting journey. You make it big. What will your mission statement be?
Yes, that is a really good question. I think for me, it's figuring out what makes you passionate and following that, and just being confident in that journey. I think a lot of us have to do jobs or deal with life things that are not ideal, right, and not
Right.
really where our heart is. But I really believe like it's possible for anyone to pursue what they're passionate and to be successful in it. Even whether it's a hobby, and just having it make you happy, right, and give you a purpose in your life, or whether you kind of take it further into something something bigger. So to me, that's what life is all about, is figuring out what you're good at, what makes you happy, and then just kind of do that. So I think a lot of people are always talking about the things that they want to do, right, and they know what they love, but they're they're too afraid to pursue it or the outcome. And so, yeah, I think my mission, honestly, is to just kind of push people over the edge with that, and inspire people to kind of pursue what they're passionate about. Even in doing my music, right, I've seen with my friends, they get excited about some of the stuff that they've been wanting to do that's more entrepreneurial in nature. So it's really exciting to see them kind of make moves in that direction. So I love that. I love being, an inspiration in that way. And I get inspired by my favorite artists and by my fellow artists here, the ones that I just mentioned.
Right.
I mean, even just seeing them in the studio, or they put out one little snippet or one little song, I'll get very inspired, right? Because I'm like, oh, they really put in the work for that. Like I should be doing the same thing. So yeah,
you were born with a purpose, and you look like, and you seem like you are fulfilling your purpose. Your whole face lights up. You've got the most beautiful smile. So it's obviously there is some inner joy that you are sharing with the world, and you're just a delight. And I knew I would love to talk to you. Your voice is so beautiful, so well spoken. And I think I always say that our Houston women we make our city sparkle, and you definitely make it sound so much better.
Yes, thank you. That's very sweet. I love that.
I know you're a busy lady, Surveen. Thank you for sharing some of your time. And how long have you lived in Sugarland?
So I was born and raised in Sugarland, and then up until going to University of Texas at Austin. So I was here, all of those years. And then I moved back for a couple of years. Then I've actually lived in San Francisco, and then I recently moved to LA as well. So I'm kind of pursuing my big musical dreams out there, where there's more of the industry and all of that. So yeah, I'll be kind of splitting my time between there and back home here. I've got my amazing family, they really take care of me and support me. And so, yeah, I love Sugarland. I loved growing up here. I talk it up to all of my friends in other, cities and states, talking about how diverse it is here. Right.
Yes,
And
yes.
the music scene, again, the arts, you know, in Houston generally. And so I love, you know, just being part of the local scene and all of that. So yeah.
Well, we wish you much success. Don't forget about us, okay? And I'm glad
I
that you
know.
said that you've been listening to Sunny since you were a little girl, and that just makes me so happy.
Yes, my friend was telling me about the you know, your morning show and Dana, and she was just so excited. And yes, that's the familiar voice, you know, we've heard on air for so long.
Well,
It's really
I
exciting.
appreciate it. You're the best. Safe travels, and give your family lots of love. And they did a beautiful job with their little girl. So thank you, Surveen, for sharing some time with us.
For sure. Thank you.